And thank you for the solidarity, and thank you for always guiding and showing us the way. To the executive director and the team from Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, Mr. Mali Jobat and the team, you're welcome. Thank you for the support and the solidarity. And to the executive director and founder of Gambia Participate, Mr. Marjan, thank you for the support, the continuous advice, even though sometimes we only say, okay, sir, we're going to do it. I would love to call on Supreme Leader, Mr. Hakim Toure, to give the opening statement. As Hakim Maj, Hakim is an embodiment of not just a leader, but a guardian and a courageous individual that took a movement at a point that people thought that was the end of Gala. He gave Gala life. Gala continued to breathe, continued to fight, and the achievement for the last 1 year would have not been possible if there was no Hakim today. Please put your hands together to the Supreme Leader while he takes the stage.
Do I need to? Okay.
Hopefully, we will not die in the struggle, but really, we will continue to fight, inshallah. Good evening, comrades, fighters and steadfast believers in the struggle against oppression, injustice, and bad governance. To our legal team, the mic is off. Not merely to commemorate, but to reflect. We reflect on the sacrifices made, the challenges endured, and the resilience demonstrated in our collective pursuit of justice. Our struggles have not been in vain. It has been rooted in the desire to eradicate corruption, improve the lives of our people, uplift the conditions of our communities, and enhance and advance the progress of our nation. On the 8th of May, this movement was a moment when only encourages young people of this country, where we understand simply for peacefully assembly on a tree beside the pavilion of the Banjul City Arch. Our intention was clear and just, to prepare for a protest demanding for the immediate release of the full list of buyers of the asset of our former President Yahya Jammeh. That moment of injustice and brutality ignited a movement we named Gala. And today, 1 year later, we stand not weakened, but committed, more determined and more united and stronger than ever. As we mark this anniversary, let it serve as a renewed declaration of our unwavering dedication to justice, accountability, and complete eradication of corruption in our country. We will not relent, we will not be silenced, we will not be intimidated, and we will continue to stand firm until transparency, integrity, and good governance prevail. God bless the struggle in masses, and God bless the Gambia. Thank you all for our people.
We will never be intimidated. We will never fear until we restore dignity, integrity, and accountability in the Gambia. These are the words of the Supreme Leader, not me, though. Thank you very much, National Coordinator, for those statements. Next, we're going to have solidarity statement from. Next, we're going to have solidarity statements from our partner organizations, and but before that, I am told that one of our comrades, a sister, who is busier than any other person when we are behind bars in the building, Nene Freda Gomez. Nene Freda Gomez, power belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people. Welcome, comrade. Thank you very much for being part of this struggle. I don't even need to thank you to be part of it, but you know, for all purposes, so that's the next we will start with Activista, and we will also call the national coordinator, Mr. Ansumana Kamara, to give a solidarity statement. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Ansumana Kamara, just like I said, coordinator for Activists at the Gambia, and I am really happy to give this solidarity statement on behalf of my organization, which reads, distinguished guests, colleagues, and fellow citizens, I greet you all. Today we gather to celebrate 1 year of Gala's existence, a movement that has stood firm as the voice of the people, holding duty bearers accountable for their actions and inactions which directly affect the lives of the masses. In this short time, Gala has proven that when citizens unite with courage and conviction, they can challenge injustice and demand accountability. Every concerned Gambian must recognize that Gala belongs to all of us. It is not the responsibility of its members alone, but of every citizen to protect them, to ensure their safety, and to defend their right to speak truth to power. The well-being is our collective responsibility because their struggle is the struggle of every Gambian. Let it be clear that Gala is not a group of young rebels. Gala is a body of citizens demanding a just and equitable society where every Gambian enjoys the dignity of life. This vision is shared by Activists at the Gambia, which is why we stand shoulder to shoulder with Gala in collaboration and solidarity. Together we affirm that justice, equity, and dignity are not privileges, they are rights. We therefore call on the government of the Gambia to withdraw all cases against Gala members currently before the courts. Criminalizing voices of conscience and only weakens our democracy and undermines the very principle of justice that the state is bound to protect and uphold. As we mark this milestone, let us recommit ourselves to build a Gambia where civic voices are respected with the struggle for justice and long live the Gambia. Power to the people. Thank you very much, Mr. Ansmana. Gala is forever grateful for the solidarity, for the support, and those words to the masses and to the Gambian government is clear and loud that Gala are not criminals, and we will never be criminals. But it's also been the voices of the masses will make us criminals. We are proudly going to continue to be criminals for the best and for the masses. Next on the agenda, I want to acknowledge our continental activist, Mr. Babukar Nyang. It's an oversight, you know, ties my boy, so I remember when we were arrested first, Babukar was out of town. Like he could not do his meetings and all of that. And I am seeing all of comrades all out here to Team Komsapopa. Thank you for always being here. And then particularly, I said I have been not been a spokesperson for 3 nights, and the spokesperson during that weekend is no other person but Mr. Lamin C. Guys, I want to hear that those claps so loud for this guy. I remember the first time he entered the cells, he was like, I'm going to be here very soon, and Hakim have to get up from the sleep and say, Lamin C, I don't want to see you behind bars. And every 2 minutes, Hakim have to send a message outside so that he makes sure that Lamin doesn't join us in the cells. Lamin embodies so much of what it takes to fix a country. Comrade, thank you very much. And on behalf of Team Gomsaboba, I invite you to the podium for your solidarity statement. Please join me to welcome Lamin C to the podium. Lamin C is Team Gomsaboba. Lamin C is Gala. Lamin C is the Gambia. Put your hands together for Lamin as he takes the podium.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say good evening? Like I was rightly introduced, my name is Lamin C. I serve as the national coordinator of an organization called Team Gomsabofa, and as well too, I'm Gala too, because these are just organizations. But at the end of the day, we are the things that we fight for. It's a common goal attached to it. So I'm Gala, I'm Gomsabofa, like he rightly said. I'm EFSS, I'm all of it. So I'll be doing the solidarity statement for my organization. This is how it goes. To our dear sister movement, we stand in full solidarity with you following the painful violations of your rights in last week and last year as well too. Your courage, your resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice continue to inspire us all. Sorry, okay, continue to inspire us all, even in the face of intimidation and injustice. No movement fighting for dignity, freedom, equality should ever be silenced or mistreated. Please know that you are not alone in this struggle. Your voices matter, your work matters, and your right must be respected and protected as well. We strongly condemn all actions that sought to undermine your freedoms and weaken your efforts. Such violations are not only attacks on your movement, but also on the principle of human rights, democracy, and collective justice that unite us all. In movement like this, solidarity becomes our shared strength. We remain committed to standing beside you, amplifying your voices, and supporting your calls for accountability and respect of human rights. May you continue to find strength in unity, hope in community, and determination in your missions. Together, we will continue to resist injustice, and work towards a future built in dignity, peace, and equal for all. So this was the statement from written by our PRO, Flex Dan. He should have been the one to read the statement, but he had a very serious emergency, so he could not make it, and I have to step in. Although moments like this are very emotional for me, and you can feel that in my voice. But like I would like to add on it is, let's just keep on pushing, because at the end of the day, the country belongs to all of us. As youths of this country, and the future of our children, we cannot just let this government and any other administration narrow down our efforts when it comes to democracy and human rights. So we are in solidarity with our sister movement, Gala, and we keep fighting with you, until the right thing is done. Power to people.
Thank you, Comrade Lamin C, and truly, power to the people. Next, I would like to call on Mr. Marnyang, Executive Director of Gambia Participate, for their solidarity statement. Mr. Marnyang. So, like I said in his introduction, Mar will call me and advise me, and in the next minute we do something or other. You call me, say, go buy and take it over. But he also forgot that he trained some of us bigger above, and now he wants to be a little bit calm. But the trainees will continue to be stubborn. So it's a good thing to have, Mar, and thank you for always being in solidarity and for supporting the movement and the voices of the masses. The podium is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Just to start, uh, I don't want to call them these kids, but I think Mari Jabate will be so proud of his decades of work. He was seen to be the most stubborn activist, well, stubborn in a good way in this country, but now he has produced those that are far more stubborn than Mari. I think we are on the other side of the spectrum. Yes, we don't want our youth folks to always be arrested. And I remember making a lot of calls before today, called Saibo, Madi, and Hakim.
So many orders, just to ensure that our youth are protected, because we want our youth to be alive to achieve the great work that they are doing. But first, it's important to shed light on why Gala exists. If animals were not sold equivalent to the prices of tissue paper, there would not have been Gala. If luxury vehicles were not sold to the equivalent of, what should I say, price less than $5,000, there would not have been Gala. If landed properties were not forfeited, or should I say, assets that were forfeited allegedly through corrupt means, if they were not disposed of through corrupt means, then there would not have been Gala. If the assets of Yahya Jammeh were disposed of in a very transparent manner, there would not have been Gala. If the correct valuation of assets were done transparently, disposed of transparently, and the proceeds of those assets were reported on how they were used, Gala would not have existed. So in essence, Gala existed because of the concern of public sector corruption, and it continues to be a concern. And we keep telling the government, the way citizens are given urgent attention if they experience accident at the accident emergency at the clinic, corruption should be treated as such. It is costing lives. It is true that failure in our public sector and corruption, that we lost almost over 6 decades of AKI. So the government needs to understand and acknowledge that yes, there is corruption. And when people talk about corruption, we are not saying everyone in the government is corrupt, but people have responsibility of oversight, people have responsibility of accountability. And then also, accountability cannot be selective. If it is selective, people are going to come up organically. And I don't want to give a TED talk, but to our law enforcement officers, I don't think this was difficult. Today, everyone is here seated, civilized, talking professionally, calmly. So it's really unnecessary to be exercising a lot of force for such. I commend them obviously for allowing this to happen, but most importantly going forward, Gala and any other youth organization or movement that want to come out and protest against corruption, they must not be subject to harsh treatment. They must not be subject to sending them to the cells to spend their weekend. There's no gain in doing such. I believe there are those undermining the progress of this country and they're in government. There are those that have been benefiting illicitly from public wealth, they're in government. The police have the mandate to investigate and prosecute corruption. Is to redirect that resources and energy in investigating and holding those people accountable. So, to Gala, yes, we're going to have disagreement. We want the best for Gala. And I now understand Gala's game. Cyber has already exposed that. He will advise. And he will tell me, yes, I'll get back to you. And the next time I will see them arrested. Right? So, thank you very much. And, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Mar. That's the beauty of movements. We are going to change the tactics now. So you're not ever not going to get to us. But like you said, there will have been no Gala if the Jami assets were disposed properly. And there's only Gala because there is highly public sector corruption. And I keep saying lately that there are 3 religions in this country. There is Islam, there is Christianity, and there is corruption. And people worship corruption more than they go to the churches and the mosques. That corruption must end. Because corruption is a disease that kills a society. And a dull society cannot prosper, cannot progress, and cannot develop. Thank you very, very much for that statement. Balin na mo lalo. Bal konto na Gambia nol mumbe Gambia yang aning Gambia la bantala bangko gang. Alnal badi malen kamar sebo kamera Gala tiamula. Bi bending jam bengo muna waleng nal haklo bagang kibaro di ko Gala be sanji kiling juralo kela ning haklo bagang sanji kiling koma me karo tili saila koning kel finda nyim bangko gang kela balambaya itandi ka nyining karo be dending ya jamela bagasul mu yalan ko ye kapunyo madang ko ay sunyaro nin tagirinde ala ko bagasul soto bagasol nyin nada ka kafunyo man bari mo nya ka findi ka boy Mustafa Suwandi Dabo wala journalist o mun ka kisi ro ke ka me investigative journalist ara ka itande ko bagasol nyin de ye kisi le ba ne kisi ro fanan ke ike watile pour yow ko do ta yake bankola ran keso kono nara ka je ko a watiro nin kere nyamin anin silo manta and wo mu kule dum yalan ko akan nakarol nan nganin sunyaro mang sa angale ka mu ye corruption bangko dungul findi dat kela balang bayay tandi ka mansa punda nyin kamu na mau taman din silo mansa punda na ka nyapi funding kel kan yesoron pulang tilis saba suda fula bini findi da way mu ne wulu wolang ay ka folo wulu ka fo mu yalan ko akko ibe balang bayay nda ka je ko molte dele la nyantol kan ko teke ya je ko mansa punda taman din to nyaning hormonin silo la and bi nyin juma tambila mun kerte findi ka kawla jura loke nim polisol naraka sere nyoga ko daga bada alhamdulillah bi pelem pintra ke ka jirula ke kay tandi banku dimul la ko tel manke dindi multi mu yalan ko kunjale bento ngajele ko banku mun tataka ning hero ko bi gon tel ngam munje wolen ko gambia man fukare ya ka samma nyamin ani ka sunyaro min ke wala dambe fukare ya ko kay tandi mo la ko mu manya ka dale tano de ka pharmacie mu ka boro sam pharmacie mu do nan dinno ka karam mu do bare ka karam do proper no be ngol jambi. And Galas, are you anywhere close to me? Can you translate in Wolof, Galas, please? Just 2 minutes to translate what I said in Wolof. Galas, I'm an authority in this country, so if I ask you to do something, you have to do it. High morals, high discipline. High moral, high discipline. Thank you, Galas. Thank you. So we'll have Galas run us down quickly in Wolof and Ablai Tiba in Pular, and then we're going to have our final solidarity statement and we get into our panel discussions. Also, I am very democratic. Do you guys need prayer break? Or is already gone? People have already prayed. Oh, I like that. That's why I'm just pretending to be democratic, but that's a nice thing though. And the last 30 seconds.
Hi, Mona. Hi, discipline. Assalamu alaikum. Ñu ngi leen a nuyu yéen ñi fi teew yëpp di leen nuyu ku nekk ci sa tur ak sa sant di wax ne tey bis bu mag la because ku nekk dafa am ci li nga bokka ba pare ñun dañ bokka ci loo xam ne ñun ñëpp ñoo ko Gambia against looted assets ñu gën ko yoo xamee si Gala ñëw nañ nag ba nga xam ne fu mu nekk nit ñi wax nañu ne ñu wàññi English buñ dee speak ba pare di blend our local languages because su fekkee ne da nga xool the suffering masses of this country ñu dee change narrative si dëkk bi soo ko xoolee from independence to date Gambia the uneducated people always ñoo dee change narrative si dëkk bi buñ toogee ba 2016 Solo Sandeng mu disappear ñu téye leadership ak parteem the uneducated people ñoom nga daan gis ñoom ñoo dee nekk si street bi elite yi moom always robbing their palms di xaar pour things yi sotti ñu ñëw indi seen credentials ne ñoom they are the competent people. This country has always been like that. So Gambia against looted assets lu ko taxawal moom moo nekk ne past régime bi fi nekkoon 22 years mu jógee fi nit nekkoon fi président bi moo toog mu am $700 overdraft mu génn fi after 22 years nit ki ñëw am ay billions of dollars si assets Moustapha Souane Dabo édifié ko nit ñi génn si tali bi ñu téye ñu si lañ nit ñi door di laajte liste boobu noonu pour mu génn foofu la Gala dooree présidence yooyu noonu ñu koo set ñu dem bañ ñi rey Omar Badji man di nari ñu bëggoon koo dugal si onda di kapet Gala génnaat pour mu nekk kees bi dem na ba koot bañ admit ne si loxo police yi la dee bu jàng Ousseynou ñu dem frame ko si ku rey ñaari police moom ak système ñu dugal leen meltu génnee leen ba bugale naa dugalaat Gala dem génnaat si biir tali bi jàmmaarloo ak police yi nguur gi amaatut lu moo def mu génnee loolu soo Gala daf fi nekka pour di xeex not pour di xeex caay doole pour dëkk bi ku nekka ku fi nekka nga war a mun a nekka si loo xam ne nii kenn warut laa mun a jaay doole injustice ak accountability loolu moom moo indi Gala tey ñu ngeen mag 1 year suñu anniversary Gala is not a political party it doesn't have any interest of being a political party because wax bi dafa bugg a leer dang dee toog di gis nit ñi ne dañ dégg ne da ngeen am candidate Gala mënut a am candidate Gala mënut a bokk a élection ku bokk si executive yi Gala sax bugg a dem taxaw élection dañ laa wax ne excusal movement bi nga dem taxawal sa bopp Gala daf fi nekk pour di xeex jaay doole Gala daf fi nekk pour di xeex noteel si biir dëkk bi te assets yooyu noonu ba tey full list bi génnaagut 66 xale yoo xam ne nii dañ leen jox garab bu bon bañ dee si biir dëkk bi fii nga xam ne ba tey Ministry of Health yóbbu wut si kenn mail tu kenn resignut te 66 xale dee si biir dëkk bi Gala loolu la moo xeex Gala bu ngee xeex leneen lu bari li nga xam ne moom moo nekk si biir dëkk bi nga xam ne Gambia dañ bugg a pour mu nekk dëkk boo xam ne nit ku fi nekk di fi eewoo si biir dëkk bi everything li nga bugga war na laa mun a ñëw fekka ci loo xam ne nii corruption doo ko si buggal so lii moom moo indi ci Gala ba pare lii moom moo ñu ñëw indi so ñun dañ fi ñëw tey pour célébrer 1 year anniversaire lii ba pare di leen wax ne yéen a nekk doole Gala yéen a nekk di direct nu Gala dee demee te 1 year bii nii ñu ngeen ñaan yàlla pour ñu célébrer ko ay ati at ba Gambia buñ bugga ñu mun koo am niñ ko buggee jërë ngeen jëf.
Thank you very much. Jerjem, I'm not sure if you have translated exactly the way I said, but you tried. High morals, high discipline. Thank you. And I'm like Tiba, 30 seconds in plan. I don't know how to manage that, but I'm almost running off time. So please do that quickly. But before that, I want to acknowledge the presence of the National Human Rights Commission and our billing and our councils, but I will come back to our councils properly after the plan before I get into the panel discussion and the rest of the solidarity statements. But for now, the one that is visible here is
Johnny Jai, Kansul Jai, thank you for coming and thank you for standing by us. Thank you for the pro bono and thank you for being the people's lawyer. And to the rest of the lawyers, let me do it quickly so that you come. Kansul Nene Cham and the entire Gambia Bar Association, LS Kamara, Lamin J. Dabo, Abdullah Fati, Salih Tal, Mariama Tabali, Mohammed Baji, Hassan Martin, and all the other lawyers that team up to defend truth, and Karijatu Ejalo to defend truth. I've already acknowledged the presence of the Human Rights Commission. To our lawyers, thank you for defending truth. Thank you for defending democracy. Thank you for defending human rights. And technically, thank you for fighting against corruption, because defending people that fight against corruption is technically fighting against corruption. The people's lawyer, once again, can we put our hands together for the lawyers? Power to the lawyers. Thank you very much. So next we have Abdullah Tiba for 30 seconds in Pular. And then we have Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice for Solidarity Statement. Then we'll have Mango and Africa Rising. Thank you. By the way, yesterday I got a call that I should really need to go back to the village and learn Pular again. But let me just try. Alright. Assalamu alaikum, Musibe Gambia. Kami Bidamon Abdullah Tiba, Imbori Motai Gala, Motam Andula Kotaranino Lady Nino, Pur Habogol Corruption, Jai Dole, Yo Laran Lamungu no Nabira Lady Yesoda, Allen Lady Yimbe Fof, Warane Njeri. So, Munyango Hande Gala Hemno Hitane, Gilambe Futi, one and the Lady Gambia do. Kono, Hitane Yaudunene, Yimbe Fof, Fisitori, Member di Gwen Hildi Nangama, Bea Naba Kaso, Bea Naba Mile 2, Bea Court, Hajoni. Be Funtani Dakobe criminal be Funtani Dakobe Sukabe be Andula, be Yori Koe, Kono be Funtu, comme Lamdogol, Alelia Jambe Omo Achuno do Gilamo Imbiro 2016, Government of Wadino Established Commission, Holobe Nani on Halis. Commission on Adino recommendation muen, Kono, Mowadaga implement. Dum Funtin no Gala, May 8 last year, Government of Funtin Nangibe, Sokibe Balletati, sorry, Gilam non Gala, Funtin and Darani lady, be Funti go under the lady go ya, no years a year dal, Tagibe Daro. So basically, do one movement and Minewada Asort Gambian that. Min continent daranogo lady min continent habonogo lady and min continent ko anduda go nabara lady yeso dal and min wana min ibito tiagal nangugol min kaso rek mi fogani dum hibidan min tiagal kono dum beedal min okku dole cause anytime lamungu nangi gala si funti next time gala na beeda e dole. And as far as corruption na do, as far as yegol dole na continent lady Gala continent na funda betae na lamdo and wanna fight corruption, injustice, yo konabada lady yes on Jarama. Thank you. I'm like, injustice and corruption is not full. I agree with you that you should go back to the village again. But thank you very much. And next, I have the singular honor to call on Miss Ali Patuluba to raise this solidarity statement on behalf of Edward Francis Small Center for Right and Justice. Please put your hands together for another movement. I don't think Edward Francis Small is an organization. It's one of the biggest movements actually. Thank you for always standing by the people.
Thank you so much. Okay, good evening, colleagues. It's a pleasure to deliver this statement on behalf of the Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice. And here it reads, 1 year ago, on 8th May 2025, a new wind began to blow across the Gambia. From the courage of a few young citizens grew a national movement called Gambians Against Looted Assets, Gala, that has since become a beacon of hope for transparency, accountability, and true democratic renewal. On this first anniversary, the Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice stands in unwavering solidarity with Gala and all Gambians who refuse to let the dream of a just, corruption-free Gambia fade. Following the damning report by the Republic highlighting the dubious process in the sale of Jammeh assets and the official cover-up, young Gambians, tired of secrecy and impunity, organized. On this day in 2025, Gala held its first peaceful protest in Banjul, demanding answers, due process, and a proper accounting of the nation's looted assets. What has followed ever since was a testament to the movement's resolve. Despite arrests and persecution of its members and other protesters, Gala refused to be silent. Within just 1 year of its establishment, Gala has emerged as one of the most impactful citizen-led accountability movements in the Gambia through strategic activism, public mobilization, petitions, peaceful assembly, and consistent civic engagement. Gala has succeeded in placing the issue of stolen public assets and public accountability at the center of national discourse. The emergence and growth of Gala reflects an encouraging reality that the new generation of citizens is prepared to organize peacefully, speak boldly, and defend the public interest without fear or favor. This is essential for the consolidation of democracy, protection of national resources, and strengthening of the rule of law in our nation. As Gala marks this important milestone, the Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice encourages the movement to remain principled, peaceful, independent, and steadfast in its activism. The struggle for accountability, transparency, and justice is a long-term national responsibility requiring persistence, courage, and integrity. We salute the leadership, members, and of course supporters of Gala for their patriotism and commitment to the public good. On this fourth anniversary, the EF Small Center hereby calls upon the government of the Gambia to drop all charges against all protesters and to ensure that the rights to peaceful assembly, guaranteed by Section 25 of the 1997 Constitution, is fully respected. To adopt and implement all recommendations from the National Assembly's Special Select Committee inquiry into the Jammeh asset sales, to protect the civic space, activists, journalists, and citizens from retaliation, intimidation, or selective justice based on their lawful exercise of fundamental rights. On this occasion, we also make an urgent call to action to every citizen of the Gambia, at home and in the diaspora. You are not powerless. Speak about corruption at home, in your workplaces, in your mosque and in your church, in taxis and markets. Sign petitions, attend lawful assemblies, support organizations like Gala and others with your time, your voice, and of course with your resources. Register to vote and hold your elected representatives accountable between elections. Demand receipts, demand audits, demand answers. As Edward Francis Small taught us, the people's power is the ultimate check on authority. For our part, the EF Small Center pledges to remain a vigilant partner to Gala and to all movements fighting for transparency, accountability, and the rule of law in the Gambia. Together we carry forward the torch led by Edward Francis Small, a torch 1 year ago, Gala lifted than ever before. So happy first anniversary to Gala, empowered with the people.
Happy first year anniversary to Gala and power to the people. And on behalf of the Gambians Against Looted Assets, we want to assure that Edward Francis Small will continue to be principled, to be independent, and the fight to restore dignity and fix this country will continue. Thank you very much, Ajay. We want to, those who are standing behind, can you please sit down? If you're standing, Kaira, sit down. All right, please let's have we have empty seats, so let's sit down, please, so that we are on the same page. And next, I will want to call on Mr. Aliuba to read a solidarity statement from Wanko, our comrade movement from East Africa. Mr. Aliu, please, the podium is yours.
Thank you, sir. I'm a founding member of MWAMCO. MWAMCO is a Pan-Africanist, Marxist, leftist political education collective that is currently based in Nairobi. We have a statement in Ghana. Though I am a member of Ghana, it's a bit strange. Fraternal greeting, moi. It's always beautiful when we encounter the historic in its conscious form. This is an intentional and conscious attempt at bending the moral and material arc of Gambia and Africa towards the new society and world. Historical processes happen either with or without our participation. History is here recognized as an objective force, but there are times when the process is subdued and made to submit to the subjectivities of the people. This is one such event, even as it holds itself to occurrence. We at MWAMCO, with this forward movement to clarify and direct the discourse and praxis of the major desires and aspirations of the masses of our people. A commemoration such as this one, we believe beckons towards those defiant and beautiful dreams, but both as a negation of reaction and an affirmation of a radiant progress. We exist in truly dark and trying times, times where the human condition has been reduced to the greed of a few, to the whims and capricious desires of these agents of surplus value. As such, then, it becomes the responsibility, historical and otherwise, of all those who believe that we can change the world. Since we have no choice but to believe in it, we don't have the luxury of pessimism or cynicism. That ship has sailed a long time ago. Here you are, comrades, have yet again begun a call, a newness rooted in the old but beautiful call of complete liberation in our lifetime. We use the word beautiful here because freedom is the absence of ugliness and the reenactment of beauty and as praxis beyond the realm of necessity. Glory to the struggle, glory to the righteous masses of the Gambia. Pan-Africanism or perish, socialism or barbarism. Good luck and forward till we meet in the new world. Yeah? Salute.
Thank you, Aliu. That voice was from Manko, but also from Gala. And also Aliu have a lot of names, including the appetizer for police brutality. You know what that means. The police, Aliu and all of that, but it's part of the struggle. And thank you very much, Aliu, for that beautiful words. And then our greetings to our comrades in Kenya. Message well received and will be executed as planned. Thank you. And we'll now call on the final statement from the continental movement. Probably we call it the parent of all movements in Africa. African Rising is a Pan-African movement that shoulder most of the uprising movements, support them, but also they are financially supporting Gala in most of our the continental coordinator could not be here, but I've sent a message and I will now have the singular honor to invite Omar Sanyang, the Secretary General of Gala, to read the statement on behalf of African Rising. Comrade, the podium is yours.
So, good evening once again, and I am the mic. I have a lot of mics here today. So I'm reading the statement from African Rising. African Rising statement of solidarity to Gambians against looted assets on your 1-year anniversary. African Rising extends revolutionary greetings and solidarity to the courageous young people of the Gambia under the bannership of Gambians against looted assets as you mark 1 year of principled struggle. In just 1 year, Gala has emerged as a powerful expression of people's resistance against corruption, impunity, and the continued looting of public wealth that belongs to the ordinary African people. Your resistance and organizing reflects a deeper truth across our continent, that Africa's crisis is not lack of resources, but the deliberate, capitalist, and greedy systematic disposition of the people by political elites who have no interest of seeing a prosperous, united, and economically liberated Africa. Your demand for transparency and accountability in the recovery and the management of stolen assets that belong to the Gambian people resonate far beyond the Gambia. It speaks to a continental struggle against state capture, where public institutions are proposed to serve narrow class interests rather than the collective will of the people. As African Rising, we recognize that your movement stands within a long and uncompromising tradition of African resistance, one that refuses silence, rejects fear, and asserts that public wealth must serve public good. The spirit of Thomas Sankara lives on in this generation's refusal to normalize theft, injustice, and elite domination. We are clear that movements like yours, which confront power at its roots, will face repression, criminalization, and coordinated attacks from the reactionary forces. These were not just signs of weaknesses, but confirmation of the threat that organized people's power poses to entrench interests. As African Rising, we reaffirm that the defense of civic space, the protection of activists, and the strengthening of grassroots people-to-people solidarity are essential to build a truly liberated continent. The struggle you are waging, it's not an isolated fight. Across the continent, people's movements are rising against the plunder of public wealth. Pan-African coordination must not be treated as a luxury. It is a strategic necessity. Each victory against looting in the Gambia strengthens our voices across Africa in their demand for the return of stolen wealth. As African Risings, we commit to deepening the links between your struggle and the people's movement across the continent, fostering a united front and collective solidarity against a system of extraction that knows no borders. The forces we confront are interconnected, and our resistance must be equally united. As you mark this milestone under the condition of repression, arrest, and state intimidation, we urge you to remain resolved, deepen organization, strengthening political clarity, and continue advancing the principle that the wealth of Africans must be controlled by its people. The struggle against looted assets is inseparable from the broader struggle of economic justice, African unity, dignity, and genuine people's power. We stand with you in solidarity, in struggle, and in collective pursuit of a just and liberated Africa. Forward with the struggle against corruption. Aluta continue. Amandla. Thank you.
If you assign a Pan-African to read a Pan-African movement statement, it sounds so good and so aligning. Thank you very much, Omar. Next, we're going to have an interlude whilst we set up for the first panel. And I would like to call the following people to join me on stage for the first panel. The topic of the panel is on consolidating the struggle, deepening people's power. United is losing it. Consolidating the struggle, deepening people's the following people are going to be in this panel, but let DJ give us an interlude. I think people are getting ready to vote. Or you want me to call Omar back for another revolutionary song? The DJ or Omar? DJ or Omar? Omar, there is a song that emerged from the cells. You want to sing that song? No, but you know, where's Omar? So this is a song that everybody knows actually. And when we were in the cells, we tried to fix it and then put in some revolution. Even I don't know if it's going to be revolutionary, but let me try. If I cannot go and Omar will pick up from me because I'm very bad at songs. But I think it goes like this. Omar, just come for a standby in case I mess up. So yeah, thank you very much. Come this way. Come this way. So we had this song late night, and it goes like this. Na 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 ye,
Na na ye,
na oh na na ye,
na na ye,
na vente ada dia, amambete adamala jimanya, amambete barola jimanya, jampa mambete ya. Do you agree? Wait. Do you agree to this song? If you agree, we go together. 1, 2, 3. Na na ye. We are not getting anything. Let me act like some musician here. Can you hear me? Yeah. Are you there? Yeah. Are you there? Yes. Can we go? Yeah. We go? Na 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 ye. Na na ye. Na oh na na ye. Na na ye. Na vente Natalia. Amambete adamala jimanya, amambete barola jimanya, jampa mambete ya. Na na ye, na na ye. Amambete adamala jimanya, amambete barola jimanya, jampa mambete ya. Power, power. All right, we are getting set for the panel now, and I would like to call on the following people to take the stage. Can we have Mr. Madi? Pull it. Can we have you can play you can play the music at a very low tone while the panelists take their seat. That should be okay. Can you play the music at a very low tone while I call them to come? Can we have Mr. Madi Jobate? Mr. Madi Jobate. Mr. Marnyang, Miss Awada Costa, and Mr. Babu Kanyang. The first panel, consolidating the struggle, deepening people's power, and I am going to retire from the podium and serve as the moderator to the panel as well. I would have just put somebody on the spot to do this moderation, but let me try. The second panel, I will deliberately call somebody to moderate. Thank you guys. I'm going to take a seat now. All right, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the panel consists of Mr. Marnyang, founder and executive director of Gambia Participate, one of the leading civil engagement organizations in the Gambia. And Marnyang also is an activist, of course, a civil rights advocate and an anti-corruption activist with a global recognition. Recently, he has been awarded in Qatar for the Qatar King, I don't know his name, I cannot pronounce it, award for anti-corruption in the world. And Mar also observed elections beyond the boundaries of the Gambia, Africa, all the way to Mexico, America, and so on. So Mar is a global activist and advocate, and it's a pleasure to have him discuss the topic consolidating the struggle.
consolidating the struggle, deepening people's power in more of a social political context. What does this mean for you?
Okay. So, that's a very tough question for an advocate. I think we are considered more of a advocate like this person than the like of always like to create trouble and that. But how do we deepen the struggle, and what are we struggling for? What are we fighting for? What is the ultimate goal? Right? Experience is what really shaped advocacy. Right. In my speech, I did mention the reason why Gala came into existence, and there's a reason why Madi was a journalist and now an activist. Right. And so many of us here, there are those in the media. It might be fashion, others. It could be an experience that shaped them to be where they are. But for advocates and activists, right, there is always a reason that made them do what they were doing. So in order to consolidate that struggle, I personally believe first is to establish what I call the deterrent, right? Yes, the struggle needs to continue, but I personally believe the structural challenges that make us to continue the struggle is what has to be established and addressed first. Now, corruption is not something that's going to eradicate it. And I totally disagree when I hear politicians saying corruption has been here since time immemorial. Corruption is something that is difficult to fight. It is not difficult to fight. We, mankind, we are prone to be corrupt. And it depends on how you define that corruption, right? We live and, sleep around with corruption in our society, right? That has been normalized. And we have not started addressing those issues, right? The root problems. And I think that's what escalates to the government level. If we normalize corruption in our society, land grabbed from the community, an individual grab land from the community, and then eventually sell that land to a company. Everyone is intimidated to talk because maybe that guy is influential, right? Now the struggle, if you're able to mobilize the people and see the consequence of that action and the impact that the person or that the person's action will have in the community and the preservation of the environment in that community, once you're able to put that to them, they'll be able to rise up and fight and prevent the reoccurrence of such. It starts from petty issues like land, football field, magazine, and to the grand level, at the government level, assets worth billions of dollars. So, next to nothing. How do we ensure we do not experience that again? That is what the definition, that's what will define the struggle. But most importantly, we also need to understand the struggle does not only have to be at the streets. How do we ensure the institutions, the laws that are not in place are formulated to define the powers and those responsible for asset recovery? The whole reason why we have this scandal, the whole reason why we have these issues is because we don't have a consolidated asset management laws. I think the different laws that we have when it comes to asset recovery, we have the Anti-Money Act of 2013. We have the Mutual Legal Assistance, the recent law, I believe it was 2023 or 2018, the Criminal Offences Act, and the Anti-Corruption Act. All of these laws talks about asset forfeiture, asset management, asset disposal,
and it gave powers to different entities. The Minister of Justice, the Attorney General Minister of Justice, can order a police to get an order from the magistrate in order to seize an asset that is suspected to be linked to corruption. The FIU can investigate the Financial Intelligence Unit being established under the Anti-Money Act. They can also investigate assets linked to corruption. The police can seize assets suspected of corruption. So you have all of these different players, right, engaged in asset forfeiture and disposal. But if we're able to have a consolidated legal framework that says that this entity will be responsible for the management, seizure, disposal, and the recovery as well, the proceeds of those assets, right? There should be a law that should define where that money should be spent on. In 2019, when a National Assembly member asked the then Attorney General how much money has been received or recovered, or the proceeds that have been generated from the sale of the assets, it was about 1 billion. When he was asked where is the money, they said they don't know where the money is. They just spend it on government development projects. That is a red flag. I don't want to be here to talk a lot of, because there are just so many structural legal issues that we need to struggle, right? Some of us need to do it through dialogue. It's part of the struggle in order to change those laws, get the institutions, define the powers, and then have the systems so that you can access this information. People like Gala have to be on the street, because we have realized, and this is where I'm going to end, we have realized in this country the fastest way, the swift way to get the government to do things right is through pressure. Public pressure is what forces the government or influence the government to work and get things done. And I give you an example. Last year around this time, when Gala was calling for the publication of the list, it seems the government was working during weekend to consolidate the list of disposed assets and publish it. Since 2017, they could not prepare those documents. And we've been talking about it. And that's the good thing about our advocacy. For us, we decided the diplomatic path. But when the pressure started coming on from Gala, the list was published. And it was really damning. I could not imagine Jamel living a luxury life and having a vehicle sold at a second-hand mobile phone price. Like vehicles that are up and running. Right? So, and this is to the government. I do not think it is reasonable to wait for public pressure to do what is right. If they don't do what is right, like the former Vice President will say, people are going to rise up. And people rise up when you touch issues that are connected to their heart. People rise up when you take their rights. People rise up when they are suffering and they see people enjoying that suffering, or people that benefit from people's wealth. So I don't want to get into much details. I know my colleagues will have something else to say. I'll be happy to answer other questions. But the discussion on corruption is not something that we can talk and finish in an hour.
All right, thank you very much, Mar. Quite an interesting one that the government should not wait to be pressured to do what they are paid for doing. Next, Madi. Mr. Madi Jabadi can hold the mic. And my question to you is, when we talk about people's power, who are the people, and how do we ensure that everyone is included rather? Who are the people, and how do you promote inclusion when we talk about people's power?
Thank you. I think I'm seeing the people right in front of me. We are the people. And but first, let me just congratulate Gala on this first anniversary. Not because we want to celebrate Gala, necessarily, but we want to bring the issues that gave rise to Gala, to renew them, to remind ourselves of our responsibility, and to ensure that we stand, firm to continue that pressure that Mark talked about, so that we have the Gambia we deserve. So I commend Gala for that and congratulate them on this anniversary and all of us. Today in Gala, I see young Edward Francis Smalls all over the place, and to all of you seated here. You see, everything is about the people. Everything starts with the people, everything ends with the people. All right? And the people are always the justification for everything, good or bad. When dictators rule, they claim to rule in the name of the people. You know, when democrats rule, they claim to rule in the name of the people. But even before that, it is we the people who give authority and legitimacy to the people who claim to govern us. So that what is evident, what is true, is that power, when we say this word all the time, power belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people. But do we understand this power? The basis of this power, the nature of this power? So that when we say power belongs to the people, how deep does it go in our heads, in our hearts, to really understand that? And how much are we prepared to put that power into practice? But it is true, power belongs to the people. And as I said, everything starts and ends with the people. When Edward Francis Small, 100 years ago, was talking about no taxation without representation, for who? Who is going to be represented? Who was going to pay tax? It is the people. If you look at our constitution today, section 1, subsection 2, says the sovereignty of the Gambia resides in the people of the Gambia. And the state and all its organs derive their authority from the people, and they perform their functions on behalf of and for the welfare of the people. So, when we talk about the Gambia, it's about the people. When we talk about the state, the president and his cabinet, the National Assembly, the courts, and in between them, all the institutions and officials, they don't have power, because that power is ours. But we only give them authority to exercise in our name, for our welfare. That is what the Constitution says. So when we say power belongs to the people, how many of us recall section 1, subsection 2? That indeed power belongs to you. That the decisions that are made at State House, in the National Assembly, in the local councils, in the offices across this country, they are made in your name and for your welfare and on your behalf. If that is the case, therefore, if you look around this country, if there is corruption because you allow it, if there is corruption, you allow it. If there is poverty, you allow it. If there is backward because the people allow it, that is by failing to exercise their power, to hold those that they've entrusted that power with the authority to manage our resources for our welfare, to manage it in the way that it benefits us. Let us look at Westfield here. You know, in terms of London, Westfield would be our Trafalgar Square. I mean, those who went to London know what I'm talking about. Those who went to New York, Westfield would be our, how they call it, Times Square. But look at how dilapidated Westfield is. Seriously. Look at Caraba Avenue. It's our high street. Our Wall Street, huh? But look at how dilapidated it is. Cross over into Ibo Town here, Obundo. Huh? Go to Banjul. I won't even mention Boraba. Huh? Or anywhere in this country, look at the quality of life the people live. Look at the quality of services. Look at the quality of infrastructure. When we were coming to this place, we drove along the Iceman Road. And that is road that was constructed in 2021 in the run-up to the election. And that road is not fit for human use. But millions have been spent on it in our name and for our welfare. Now, but do you and me as the people, how much do we understand what is the nature therefore of our power to ensure that is that accountability? That we generate that pressure Mark talks about, so that those we elect or appoint into public service serve us really, and they serve us with respect, with humility. Mark said how good and nice it is today. We could have had this last Friday, but the IGP is someone we appointed. It is based on our power that he has the authority to be IGP, he has the legitimacy to be IGP, yet he has the audacity to tell us you cannot enter this place. And he's sitting in his office until today. Because you and me don't know our power. Otherwise, we would have said that I need to step down. No official dares joke with the rights and the life and the dignity of the people. Because the people put you there. But do the people know the power that they have? We are sitting here today, 16 years after independence. We have Gambian youths feeling so hopeless in this country that the only solution they have is to go through the Sahara Desert and the back way. Why would you run away if you know you have power? Why don't you deal with the failures that have denied you, the officials, institutions that have denied you the opportunities with which you could have earned a decent living in your country? Meantime, we can buy a $12 million vehicle and give it to a minister, and give another vehicle to a minister for his family. Not to mention all of the other benefits and privileges and incentives that we have shared among those who we have elected and appointed and put them into public office. It goes back to, do the people know their power? The power that they have. And that power is not just a power in terms of rights, it's power in terms of responsibilities. So it's always about the people, the struggle is always about the people. It has always been about the people. And anytime the people exercise that power, they prevail. Because the people's power is the only legitimate, is the only right power on earth. On this earth, there is no other power other than the people's power. But provided the people are conscious of their power, and that overall entails a lot of factors. He talked about inclusion, for example. How do we make sure that power is exercised in a way that there is space for everyone, regardless of your status, that there is space for everyone? So that if that were the case, I mean, why is this compound not full to capacity? Why is it not overflowing? Is it that the rest of the population, they don't know their power? They don't know the issues? They are not challenged? They don't know their responsibilities and their rights? So, it is to say, one of our great leaders, alright, once said, no one man or one woman can free a people. Only the people can free themselves based on their conscious actions. So the people are nothing if they don't have consciousness. Because if you don't have consciousness, what belongs to you can be taken away from you. If you don't have consciousness, you can be denied your rights. If you have no consciousness, you can be enslaved and you accept your conditions as it is. So the solution, as I said, and the problem rests with the people. Whether we will have democracy or dictatorship, whether we will make progress or failure, whether we will move forward or be stagnant, rests with we the people. That is why every country you go, the constitution opens with we the people. We the people. Do we try to find out why we start our constitution? If we read the preamble of the 1997 constitution, it starts with we the people. you read the Constitution of the United States, it starts with we the people. If you read the Constitution of Nigeria or Senegal, it starts with we the people. But do the people know that they are the people? That has been our fundamental challenge. Do we know whether we are the people? So I guess you can be a people, but you don't know you are the people. Because when we say the people, if we are not just talking about a head like Madi Jabate or Marnyang here, or one head like our, down here or so. A people is a whole concept. It's a whole idea. So that when you understand that, then you realize that there's a threshold. Yes, there's a threshold, there's a standard by which we the people are not going to accept certain things. And that we the people have rights and responsibilities. And we will not hesitate to exercise our rights and to fulfill our responsibilities. Unfortunately, as I said, we are 65, 61 years old as independents. But even before that, 100 years ago, the struggle to make the people assume their rights and responsibilities continues to be a challenge. And it is because of that the people continue to suffer, to be disempowered, to be made voiceless, to be impoverished, to be oppressed, to be denied, to be marginalized as men and women and belonging to other groups. So on a day like this, we say, wake up you the people. Alright? It is more than just your name and where you are born. Also, the people is a concept. Let us interrogate and understand that so that we salvage ourselves. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Madi. And I will skip Madam Dacosta and then go to Babukar. Beyond Banjul, Babukar have been part of the few movement builders at the continental stage. My question is, many movements begin with strong momentums like Gala did, but cannot get wicked. Do you want to tell us what helped movements sustain beyond moments of crisis? What sustained movements beyond moments of crisis?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Omar. And I think it's very important for us to see what Madi is talking about, the people being a concept. And exactly that is the reason why also movement have the issues that they normally have at the beginning. But that's always at the beginning. Because at the beginning, it's where we now identify people and their interests. And each and every person in the movement will have your own interest before it is considered. But now when you come to the consideration, that is when also people decide now whether I want to stay, whether I want to go, whether I am in between. So now we have this concept put into two. And in building power, these three are very important in the movement. People who are the strategists, people who are the campaigners, people who are the advocates, and then the people who are the policy makers in that. So in trying to get that again, and not to have disagreement, fragmentation within the movement, we need to establish what is Omar good at. If Omar is on the street, well and good. Before he goes, I'll tell him, you don't go, you will be arrested. But when he goes, I will be on the street with him while he is arrested. Others will be like, okay, you go, you get arrested, and then we will now strategize on how to get you out. So in building movement for the people's power, these strategies should be very, very important. And again, globally, tested also in many African countries, two things are fundamental in movement building. And one is activism, two, litigation. And I think Gambia is an example of that. When Gala came, do we have a list? No, we didn't have a list. But the emergence of Gala, didn't we have a list? We had a list, that is activism. Before Gala came, we didn't have a special committee who were telling us that a vehicle like Mar is saying cost because of a second-hand food. Did we know that before Gala came? We didn't. Before Gala came, did we know that it was the police who strangled and killed Omar Baji? Did we know? We didn't know. Again, coming also to the litigation part here. Mar is here. They took the government, Banjul City Council and the mayor to court for them to stop the registration year, myself, Madi, and other colleagues took the Ministry of Finance to the National Assembly. And then for tabling the budget late. This year, do we have a budget that is stable late? No. So the strategy in building movements lies under these two. And one is the activism, two is the litigation. So these two cannot also go in isolation. And that is why when we are building the movement, one of the things that we do is to say consolidating, never stop starting. Why we say never stop starting all over? It's because whenever you start all over again, you are fragmenting the movement into where you don't want it to go. And I think Gala has been the biggest example of it. Again, this is also not new for organizations like this in the sub-region. If you remember the Genesis protest and how it started in Kenya, it was as a result of a finance bill that they did not agree in principle of the taxes that have been done to the people. And what happened? The people marched to the street and demanded for it. It has made the government of Kenya release and sack the entire cabinet, including the vice president. Isn't that not a win? So in building movements, the strategies are the fundamental in also getting fit. And also, the building power is also trying to see what is what or who is what within the movement. Of course, if the motivational speaker and then the person whose wisdom is Gala's who is the person that we get into. If the calm voice, the tone level is Hakim, it's Hakim that we go in for that. So within the movement also, to avoid fragmentation, to avoid disagreement, we need to test the power of each person within the movement. If, for example, talking about the novelty, the books and everything is Aliu, we have to take Aliu's concept into that. So again, coming back to the strategy and having this campaign to lead the movement as well. This agreement is all over. Even in principles, we can disagree among things. But again, that doesn't mean that the movement will not have them. Because now the concept of Gala, for example, is not an individual doctrine. It's an idealist activity where people think that not only looted assets, but things that are injustices, things that demand accountability are there. If Gala was only stationed its concept on the asset, will they be supporting Usenu, Bojang and his brother? No. But they think that the system is broken in a way that it was not going to get that action in place. That is why they went in for that accountability space. The same with the case of Omar Faisal. Therefore, the movement also needs to stand and see what it wants to happen. Again, a caution for movement is choosing and picking fights. It's fundamental because, like, we have values, and the values that we have is to fight among things that are in line with our vision and activity. So, if, for example, our vision is to fight against corruption, our vision is to fight accountability, justice, what will we have to do with people selling granite cake at the other side fighting? It's not our problem. So in sustaining the movement, to be able to be principled in that, we need to choose our fight. Because if we don't choose our fight in what is relevant to the movement principle, it's also going to bring fragmentation. And that we have seen in Yanamar in Senegal. The example was when some of the movement leaders thought the other way around, it fragmented the movement. And now it's very rare for you to even hear Yanamar in a principle of things that they carry on. Why? Because others decided to be politicians. Others decided to go in the other way around. And that fragmented the organization's principle. But imagine if everybody had the principle of wanting to fight the injustice that we had here, it will be sustained. And finally, the Gambia has decided is a replica of the Gala in terms of people's power. And then the concept of people, like Madi was talking about, when it's a whole concept. Because you see, when Gambia has decided, came in, everybody took it as their own. The same with Gala. Some people will question, oh, who are these Gala? What is there? Yeah, Gala are people who are highly educated in universities, others have master's degrees, others are highly skilled, others know whatever they're doing that is the right thing, that are fighting for justice, fighting for accountability, and respecting people in the country in values, and also supporting what their countries are. These are people that if you don't support them, what will happen is you are now disagreeing with what Mali is talking about. Power belongs to the people and it's sovereignty of whatever, which my brother always Imran disagrees with when we call power belongs to the people, because it's the people now who should carry that power to fair. So just to finally say that, Omar, I think you will agree with me that problems happen and occur, but when it occurs, we also need to ensure that it is fixed so that nobody carries these grudges away. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. And finally, to the only woman on the panel, so we go into a question with women. And to our, we have seen how often women have taken charge in the forefront of the community struggles lately, but yet we have seen how underrepresented they are at movement, both movement level and governance level if it comes to leadership. What must change to ensure that women have real decision-making powers, not just in governance, but in movement and organizations, especially at committee levels?
Thank you, Omar, for that very important question. So, in the case of the Gambia, about 51% of the population are women, right? But how many from that percentage are in the national parliament? Only 9%. How many women have been elected to be at the National Assembly, for instance? How many women were nominated? In fact, we have that number of women because quite a number of them were nominated. So this just goes to show that the problems we have regarding gender, and I know when we talk about gender, majority of the times it is very controversial, and people may not always agree or see eye to eye regarding issues that have to do with gender. But the case of the Gambia is very deep-rooted, and when I say deep-rooted, it is very multidimensional. If you look at the issue of law and legal reforms, and you look at the issue of social norms, culture, tradition, sometimes fueled by what we practiced over time. So when you look at the issue of legal reforms, for women, inclusivity should not only be symbolic, it should be systemic, and when I say systemic, it should also include structural authority. So if you look at developments in the Gambia, IDEA, International Ideas, and the Gender Committee at the National Assembly, but also go to the draft constitution that we had that has been, put to bed. We don't know when it's waking up again. We were talking about women having a quota system. But what happened? When the draft constitution was rejected and the cabinet took it, we saw they butchered the numbers. They gave it half its number, right? And now the Select Committee and International Ideas are saying there should be 14 reserved seats for women. But even as small as the number is, this is still being open to debate. Simply because, one, it is seen as women are not to hold positions like that, right? And I remember I was at an activity, a policy dialogue for women, and I heard people saying, women are the problem. Political power, that even if you're a woman and you want to seek political power, it is women that hinder your progress. And for me, I think it is high time, Omar, if we want women to hold authority in this country and amplify the voices of women and their power, that these are narratives that we should fight against. Because we are working against a system of patriarchy, a system that lacks equity, and a system that insubordinates women and their leadership and their authority, but also their agency. Over 18 political parties in the Gambia have signed a communique on women's political leadership. But go to these political parties. So they've almost made it a routine, if the head or the flag bearer is a man, the vice candidate is a woman. And this has become so normalized that even if you go to a primary school in the Gambia, the class prefect would be a male. Immediately the class prefect is a male, the deputy class prefect role will be reserved for what? For a woman. Because you are always told what? Be insubordinate, be subservient. And these are things that have to change. Women should not be limited only to, mobilize. Women have a huge power when it comes to mobilization in communities. when you look at the elections in the Gambia, we know how fundamental women are in political parties. But also we are conversant with how disadvantaged women are within the same political parties. So are women's role only to, to cook, to mobilize, to dance, to entertain? Or while they possess the authority to mobilize, to bring people into political power, they must have the same equity to hold political office and make decisions that concern them and their well-being. These are things that we need to look at moving forward. And also, even in movements like, even Gala, for instance, right? How many people in the Central Committee are women? Go to the University of the Gambia. When you say welfare, women are mostly given roles surrounding welfare, right? Because we believe if you're a welfare minister or, or social secretary, exactly. So you are, at least that way you cook and you make sure everyone's welfare are intact. And that's only what women are good for in organization. This past protest, we saw 2 women were arrested. A lot of us that went to the police station at Kodu, we saw their conditions. Very terrible conditions. They slept in those cells. They were arrested right here. We saw the way one of the women was treated and pushed, right? Last year we were in URR because we work a lot on the issue of the April 10-11. And women who are involved in activism are saying that they believe there are no protective measures in the Gambia regarding women that are activists and they hit the streets. So when we talk about the rights of women, we talk about the responsibility that society also owes to these same women. So I would also urge Gala to even, look into this. Even within the movement, there are women that are capable of taking certain roles. So we also implore women to come forward to take those roles. But if we want to dismantle these things, we need to move away from the narrative that a woman would mobilize, a woman would entertain, a woman would amplify the message of political parties. And when they are done, they are expected to what? Sit, serve, and listen. And finally, I will end it here. When you look at the issue of gender norms, right? Gender norms are nuances that we live with every day. I remember sometime I just sat and I'm like, okay, I saw something on TikTok, and this man was saying, allowing your wife take up financial responsibilities to help you as a man is taking her breast off her chest and making her a man. And that she's going to control you and she's going to control your household and your family members, you will respect that. So I just went on Facebook and say, oh, so in this time and age, there are men, that still believes what a woman should do is just stay home. You understand what I mean? Just to spark a conversation. And a lot of you saw that. You saw the comments, right? And majority of the time, these are things that occur when people talk about gender. So women and girls have an agency and they have autonomy. And just like men, women have purpose. So what we expect is if we want to dismantle these pinnacles of patriarchy or social gender norms that are stifling not just the rights of women but how they also participate, we should have honest discussions. But when we have these honest discussions, we should make sure women are present. Whatever without us is not for us. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Da Costa. So I am running out of time, so I'm going to give 1 minute for the final questions for each of the panelists, and I will start with Mar. Mar, we understand that we are still in a transitional society. We're still trying to transit from authoritarianism to democracy, because still we have pending businesses with all our TJ pillars, right? So how do we avoid getting into democratic backsliding? Just in few minutes, please.
It is corruption that will open the floodgates of democratic backsliding. Corruption is what becomes everything that is not going on well in the country. When we talk about human rights, defending human rights, it starts with addressing issues of corruption. The only problem is it's very difficult to portray corruption, right, to eliminate. Most people, if they hear the word corruption, they see money. And it's way beyond money. something that is way more deadlier than money is the structural, failures that we don't get to see. If you see a politician clinging onto power, you must ask the question, why are they clinging onto power? It's not because of the money, because if they leave office, they will have more money than when they were in office. Politics is not the machine that is going to make you rich. In many developed countries, it is the rich that get into politics. So why do people cling into power? The privileges, the authority, and we also need to understand, study our culture, our tradition, and our mind as Gambians. Societal status is something that a Gambian value a lot. To an extent, if they get into office, the respect that they receive from the people, the way our own people worship them, the way our people bow down to them, contributes to why they don't want to leave office. People will do whatever it takes to stay in office. So I feel we need to decipher these complex jargons and understand, right, the consequential effects of corruption. So how can we prevent from going back to dictatorship? Every single autocrat, every single dictator, they have a playbook, and the playbook, they all use the same strategy. It always starts from corruption. Get certain authorities, for example the police, control, give them privileges. The army, and we need to congratulate the army, the Gambia Armed Forces, for refusing to be politicized in this transitional justice. And the police must also learn from the army, look at their leadership and how they were able to maintain their independence while defending the constitution and the people. So to avoid democratic backsliding, it starts with addressing the most deadlier issue, the hidden issue that begets all of the suffering, which is corruption.
All right, thank you very much. I will skip Madi and go to Babukar. And Babukar, my final question for you is, what gives hope about future of citizen-led movement? And precisely, what do you think will give hope for Gala to continue living and surviving and in the struggle continues? In 1 minute.
One is consistency. Like I said, movements have principles, and they need to be consistent in the way and manner in which they get. And I think that we've seen that in Gala. From day one, the efforts were to be consistent on how they do things, what they do things with. This is an example. If the police had granted Gala permit last week, maybe this number would not have been even here. Correct? Maybe even these media houses would not have been here, maybe. But because the police was so nice, without also no evidence of bringing those so-called things, to make Gala now being consistent, and Gala's consistency has always been what is there. Always is, we will go out, we will go out, we will move, we will move. And the story of Gala being so consistent was, and amazing, was when there was a discussion about negotiating on a particular thing. Gala said they were not going to discuss alone because they were divided into groups. One was in this cell in somewhere, this was in the other cell there. And these are not only for Gala, but even in Africa and beyond. Like if the voice is integrated and then the people's power speaks to the one voice, they all agree in principle. And having Gala said the other time that, come on, we have got the police bill, even me disagreeing, Kulmadi here, disagreeing, they insisted that they are agreeing on a principle that they are going to carry. That is rather they go to the court than take a police bill. And all those things came along with Gala now showing a maximum consistency in the advocacy. And if that doesn't change, I can guarantee you and bet it that it's not going to be anywhere near the list of that. And I encourage Gala, the consistency that it has within the movement to continue, so that at least there is effort of having it survive for the next 1,000 years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Babukar. And finally, before we come to Mali, I will take our. And your question is, what lessons do we have to learn from the past that the today generation must not repeat?
Well, like I always will say, a society that forgets their past are doomed to repeat it again. And unfortunately, in the Gambia, the irony is it is the state that is supposed to spearhead the transitional justice process, for instance, right? It is the state that is supposed to spearhead the principle of non-recurrence. It's the same state that is repeating past atrocities in the Gambia. And it was very ironical that the very day, last Friday, that Gala members were arrested, the president was sworn in the special prosecutor. That for me is very, very contradictory. Because there are pillars to transitional justice, and one of those pillars is truth-seeking. That is why the Gambia had what? The TRRC, right? Victims came, perpetrators came, witnesses came, analysts came. To do what? To find out the truth. Because if we find out the truth, we'll make sure that moving forward, those right violations are not repeated again. And that is why when the TRRC gave 268 recommendations, the government accepted 265 of those recommendations. And funny enough, the Public Order Act was one of the most frequently mentioned issues in the TRRC. In April 2000, April 10, 11, 2000, 16 young people were killed. Part of those 16 was a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old that were shot to death in this country. Fast forward to 2016, the April 14, when Solo Sendeng and Co came out. Solo was beaten to death. Women were taken to NIA, they were tied and they were sexually assaulted and they were beaten to stupor. Men had their manhood, they were harassed, yes, a lot of those people up till now, they are not treated. People are sitting on wheelchairs for 25 years in this country because of violence that have been perpetrated on them by the state. And if you look at all these atrocities, it was done through what? Using the Public Order Act. So in a serious country, in a serious democracy where the Gambia is on its transitional justice process, we are trying to consolidate our democracy. These are things that no matter what shouldn't have been repeated. But unfortunately today we've seen what? We have become what? A police state, right? During Jammeh's time, he politicized the military and militarized politics. In Barrow's era, what is he doing? It is the police, right? And this just goes to say that, like everybody was saying, our close here, power is in the hands of each and every one of us. Jammeh was a dictator for 22 years, killed, tortured, extrajudicially killed people in this country and forcibly disappeared people because people allowed him to continue. So when we see young people take the streets to protest, to call for accountability, to call for justice, what we ought to do is to what? To support, to guide, and to make sure that with our sweat, with our souls, and with our lives, we make sure the things that happen do not repeat themselves again in the Gambia. So power is in our hands to make sure these things don't happen again.
All right, thank you very much. And finally, Uncle Madi, 1 minute, tell us how our entire democratization process have to strengthen people's power, not to weaken it, in 1 minute.
So people have two options: obedience and resistance. So each one of us, let us ask ourselves, as far as the state is concerned, we have two positions: obedience or resistance. And this is the story of the people in every country, in every time, since the beginning of this world. Are the people obedient to corruption? Are they obedient to autocrats? Are they obedient to abusive public institutions and officials? Are they obedient to discrimination and injustice at home, in the workplace, in the community? Because this fight is not just to stand against the state. I just talked about women's issues. We have to fight for justice at home, in our workplace, in the market, and everywhere in society. So are we going to be obedient to those exploitative, oppressive, discriminatory, patriarchal ideas that entertain marginalization of people because of their name, their origin, their sex, their disability, their age, and everything else? Or are we going to resist? That we will not accept this and we want justice. So to build democracy in this country, like it has been done everywhere in the world, it is the people. Are we obedient or are we resistant? So this is what I will tell Gambians. If you want to be obedient, rest assured, injustice will prevail, corruption will prevail, oppression will prevail, as it does everywhere in the world. Because when the Egyptians were obedient, Mubarak was sitting on their heads. But in the Arab Spring, the moment they resisted, who would imagine that Mubarak would be kicked out by the people of Egypt? And that is just one example. Alright, we were obedient, but in 2016, on the 1st of December, when we resisted, Jammeh left it, because we had said Jammeh was so powerful that even when you mention his name, these walls would hear you, would report you to him. The trees would hear you. Alright? But when we resisted, alright, we voted him out, and we resisted on the 7th, he accepted on the 2nd of December, and then turned around on the 7th, but we resisted. Eventually he left. So two things, two weapons we have: obedience and resistance. The choice is ours. For me, I'm resistant. For me, I'm resistant. What are you doing? What do you want? What do you want? What do you do? What do you do? When? 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 What do you do? What do you want? Resistance! All the way!
Alright, thank you.
Resistance!
Thank you
all
very
the
much.
way!
Thank
no
you.
obedience!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Madi Jubate, Mr. Marnyang, Babukar Nyang, and of course, Ms. Awata Costa for the insights in the panel. And on behalf of Gambians Against Looted Asset and all the attendees, I will now retire you to your seats and thank you once again for those great brilliance. Babukar, you want to sing? Babukar, you want to sing? 30 seconds.
If I say, what do you want? You say resistance. When do you want it? You say now, Guys, come closer. What do you want? When do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it? What do you want? When do you want it? Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Yay!
Sabo, biar apa pun. Kenapa? Kenapa?
No compromise. I'm a guerrilla. I'm a guerrilla. I'm a guerrilla. No compromise. I'm a guerrilla. No compromise. I'm a guerrilla. I'm a guerrilla. I'm a guerrilla. No compromise. I'm a guerrilla.
So I'm going to sing this song. This song comes from the African Revolutionary Movement. This is a song that was sung by Mkhonto Sizwe. Mkhonto Sizwe was the arm wing of the ANC against apartheid in South Africa. Now, they were training in Tanzania, and when they were leaving Tanzania, they sang this song as a thank you for the Tanzanian comrades and all they have done for them. So I'm going to change it, and I would say, Gambian comrades, loving comrades, here we are, far away from home. We shall love you, we shall miss you, for the things you've done for us, and we shall conquer the oppressor and unite from Cape to Cairo, from Morocco to Madagascar. We shall win and win with love. So let's do it, yeah? Gala comrades, loving comrades, here we are, far away from home. We shall love you, still we miss you, for the things you've done for us, and we shall conquer the oppressor and unite from Cape to Cairo, from Morocco to Madagascar. We shall win and win with love. So this is to remind us that the struggle is also about, it's joyful. It's a joyful historical process that we are part of. And then we sing until we achieve freedom. And one song, yeah? This is the usual songs that you know, yeah? Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are. So we tell them. Can you rise up, please? Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are, So we tell them, we are the Gala youth, the mighty Gala youth, Gala youth. We are the Africans, the mighty African, Everywhere we go, people wanna know who we are, So we tell them, we are the Gala youth, the mighty Gala youth, the mighty African, Salute, love and respect.
Salute. Thank you very much, comrades. High morale, high discipline. Thank you very much. Quickly, I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Councillor for Brookwood Ward. And also thank you to Mr. Kambi. Mr. Kambi is the one that printed this piece as for the Central Committee for free. Thank you very much for and we have also been reminded that Mr. Kemo Fati, Green of Gambia, is here, who is also our comrade, and also one of our big partners, the National Youth Parliament clerk, Mr. Abdullahi Oba, is in the building, and some of the parliamentarians. You're welcome, and thank you for the continued solidarity and support. And now we will take an interlude with poetry and music, and I will start by calling the intellectual poet, empowered by wisdom, to come and give us a piece. The intellectual poet, empowered by wisdom, to give us a piece. Genius Janga, wherever you are, please get set to come next. Genius, wherever you are, get set to come, please.
Assalamu alaikum to you all. I guess Umar Saiko mispronounced my name, so let me correct it, right? My name is Musa Asisoho, known as the logical intellect poet inspired by wisdom, poetry and activities as well. So I have a poem to recite, and I hope to grasp your attention. And dear youths, I feel your pain as I have gone through the same pain, no doubt. Dear youths, I feel your pain as I have gone through the same pain, no doubt. The government has thrown its back in moment of urgency, leaving us stranded, broken force on the perilous journeys, no doubt. Frustration brews like a storm, mourning patience long slain, no doubt. Salary starves our homes, unable to even pay for shelter, no doubt. The youths deal in drugs because this nation bleeds. It bleeds so deeply, so painfully, so severely under this regime. But let this not justify folding your hands, silencing your voice, surrendering your fight. For what are those not thrown away until blood is spilled? Is either we rise or we perish. Revolution now or never. Actions must be taken, or we all will be dragged to hell for the sins of our silence. Dr. Ismail Assisi, ashamed in fame, I name you. Once a critic of thy function, now a part of the same table, where men devour without care, where the cries of the youths are drowned in gluttony. Now stands in awe, blaming the youths for their failure. And Mr. the youths are happy. It is grace not just the Gambia, but Africa at large. You say the youths are happy, but how happy were you when you haul insult at Barrow, when you expose the government failures, and now you bow to the same? And the youth who once believed in you, now despises you. If only they felt what the youths endure, the Mediterranean Sea swallows our brothers and sisters whole, while back home, opportunities are embedded. Leadership stumbles and crumbles, corruption flourishes while we languish, leaders falter, their promises shatter, and the sad reality of Gambia unfolds before us. And I say to the government, awake your consciousness. For your people are burning deep down, sadness grips our hearts, anger feels through, running through our veins like the flowing of blood. And yet, you ignore our struggles, our cries for relief, offering no healing, dealing in vain, deepening our grief. I mean, the Gambian people suffer border. Our patients want pain, hunger, now at our soul, and yet you let corruption win like the winners winning of our Gambian youths. Some fall like bees, yet paid unjustly. Others wake with empty pockets, with no sockets to charge their pockets. For this government is a rocket that destroys hope and dreams, leaving the poor to suffer in silent screams. I mean loud, we mime in songs of grief. How can we not see the tragedies unfold? I mean, innocent life lost, their stories untold, corruption thrives, justice denied. Those who steal, the big thieves are mean, walk free. Their sins brushed aside in this system. It seems justice is only justified when you are poor without a backer whose doors are open wide. I mean, you build a system where the rich grow fat, fatter than the fattest, and the poor are left with nothing but to face a case of hunger, hardship, frustration, depression, stress, anxiety, weak and sick, lack the means, no back to back up who sticks with us if the government lacks the ideas to stick by us to remedy the crisis and address the masses. Imagine that Gambia. How do you think the heroes of our nation will feel, knowing that the country they fought for so tirelessly is run by hungry lunatics who have degrees in corruption and PhD in stealing public funds? I bet South will live, and what Francis Small will cry for a nation led by greed, where truth goes to die. So wicked alive is a crime designed by political aliens. Among the three arms, corruption thrives. Your actions prove that you won't improve. Revive Mother Gambia, we won't survive if we repeat the same mistakes we made in 2021 on 2026. So to my fellow Gambians, open your eyes, see through the lies, for corruption has blinded their hearts. I mean, it's time to rise, to demand a change, to sever the ties, let them drop their neckties. And we tired? And we tired? I mean, the cries of change are loud, right? The suffering is real. Let 2026 be the year we finally heal. At the ballot box, let our voices be heard. For the broken contract cannot be fixed until and unless change is realized. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Logical intellectual point inspired by wisdom. I'm sorry that I pronounced your name wrongly. I correct myself and I withdraw the first one. Thank you very much for the moment. And next we have Genius. Genius Jano, who is also part of the victims for the recent arrest. You know, he spent 3 nights behind bars. And I hope the point is not an old one, but it's going to be about the 3 nights behind bars and the story of Pato Jallo. Especially when you hear the word, we are going to find two on Monday. Right? So.
Oh, Pato is here. Please tell him to come and explain his experience.
Follow for Gambia Lua Benya Masala Sabalal Damali. Real open office balcon. Tonyalam for Tonyande. Dinindolo. Ate ulu tabaka usati leko. Abana faya ulu patale kono. Ya kulu amenda hani sebo patakilo kono. Udu kusifati jama minkenye sate kono. Kabonna kujiba wapolulung blok koso bi fase do sama no so kono adia la alfalla. Kadonna tada marché do bar hani terase ke mo fabuga fekke no panyel kono. Abala fa wonta. Fon ninke tijir ni sate kono mi be kontani. Wodo di yusa habiti limbali ko mola etangi la suba kono. Kujaman lebe ngin sate kono. Bara bete sate lano. Bari fem kumari ngol do se fono fo ko do se lonno ka nyoko no to dia. Fo kuma sahyari ngo so dunno so no mol kono. Yin sate kono. Alfal ka bori kabiri somonda fo wularo. Hani samata kendo buka dunno. Dimbal balindiro buka sodono dimbal ka uli somonda dinninke ba musika poninke mobi ni konko. Da sama kendo buka sodono ka to fe mantara baba la poso kono. Hammo benna bari mero la hiji silo mambono nawol bi ta tiennin ko ma wafila sanyi jama fo bitilo hani fem mambono nyaka judu rek mo lay terete ludu tega rek don fente ku dut yalla do ken ku gëna noppale ko moy ko jital xel be xamne nit ñi duñ ben. No introduction. The same kid that took you through the ramps of sunset. We celebrated the part of destruction when the nation couldn't see the rise of the sun. We are so busy on caption and forget to take action. But how can we forgive and forget? When who to forgive isn't forgotten to be forgiven or forgiven to be forgotten. What I can understand is who is to be forgiven for things that are forgotten in the heart of the forgiving people, that are forgotten by the system that was to be forgiven. I am sorry, dearest. For right now, our good deeds are outdated. Our unpleasant deeds are upgraded and fully activated. Our actions are not meditated or critically calculated before being implemented. The truth is being asphyxiated and depreciated. That is why everything is just complicated. Le moy of sin biblical, the moy digal. So amon dara piken dula theater. Bodo kabirin dinataram filiter. Sila tilin killing yini setan jilu minkan sitting kan nabara kindul minim kam piring kam point. Ponsa firi lengan after. Your poet. Genius, Jammer.
All right, thank you very much, Genius. We're gonna now have our big perform. The thing is, if you're set with our song, you can let me know. But this is just for fun. But also just to, first I want to make a disclaimer. I'm sorry that I have to disagree with our very big partners, the media. I have seen headlines going around that we clash with the police. We did not clash with the police. I want you to report this one as well. We did not clash with the police. We only had a disagreement and we led to a resolution. Lamin, it was not a clash, right? Exactly. So with no clash with the media, all what the police, all what we told them was, they cannot come to the enter the premises of the monument. They can stay outside and protect the traffic and then do whatever. They couldn't enter here, and then we came to an agreement, and that happened. So we did not clash with the police. Sometimes same headlines they just so torop. They can say, you know, why you need to because in Gambia see that the Gala is clashing with the police. Nobody wants to go and sleep in Carnival police station again. Violently, you know, right? But that's fine. Moving forward, I just want to say Genius Jungat is just from here, and also, you know, this last arrest have been, you know, a very big test for all of us. People like us that are used to it, and I keep joking and said, I think all the arrests have been arrested. So there's no one time they say, okay, this time Saibo is not behind bars, and Aliuba 3 times, Omar 2 times, 3 times. Palu is the chief of arrest, no problem. You know, but for Pato and, you know, especially Pato, you know, when Pato came the first day, it was really tough, you know, the starting. And then I will always tease him if he wants to pick up slip. I will say, oh, Allah, this is the final one. This time around, government, do you balance? You know, the my direct Pato will get up and sit down and say, oh, man, land. And if he's eating food, and I will say, take it. I'm 100% sure this time around can be that mindful because government cannot for you. Pato will stop eating and say, oh, man, you're buy Lulu. They know the mindful, you know. And that was the Friday. But the Saturday, by midday, Pato become more strong and stronger than any of us in the and he start fighting back, you know. And that's also like Hakim will always say, anytime you put one person behind the bus, know that you have built another revolutionary and you have built another fighter, because if the person leaves himself, he doesn't take the back seat again. And I remember one was of Pato, Duma Musa Daw Kiaga, Duma Musa Daw Fetal, Duma Musa Daw police again. And you know what that means in a protest ground. And then power belongs to the people. And you know, why we still, are you set for our place? Are you set for our place? Are you set for our place? And then for your information, all the food that have been coming, 75% of the food have been eaten by Omar. And you can attest to this one part. 75% of the food products themselves were eaten by this guy. So he was the chapter of the team behind bars. You know, and who was the peacemaker? And then Tiba, I'm not very sure. I think Hakim was until he lost it the night of Sunday. But Hakim was the peacemaker. But on the night of Sunday, Hakim became very violent, which is also okay and normal. But you know, everybody has their story. I'm the only one that does not have a story because I mind my business. The cells have become in my home. I am acknowledging the presence of Council Martins. Council Martins is not just a lawyer, but also one of the strong activists that we have within ourselves. And thank you very much for standing by the people. And you are the people's lawyer. And are you ready for our billing? Let me sound like Muhammad Nagadua. What is the name of Muhammad again? The one that hosts shows. What is his name? Muhammad Dabo. Are you ready? Are you ready? People are not responding. Our billing, you are not coming. DJ, stop. Are you ready? I'm not hearing you. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? The next artist on stage, I have the singular honor to invite Miss Our Bling. Please tell Esti to hire me to next show. I'll do a good job.
Now we have democracy in this country. We are very happy that we have democracy in this country.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. It's so great to be here. But to my perform, no buga yenyem ngenjok. If you believe in the struggle, if you believe that we have the power, then please. Mr. DJ. Okay. Okay. You called us. Now we are survivors. Hard with the enemy, we born to be fighters. You see best, we see light igniters. We're the real truth writers. You called us vermin, but they don't let you loud. We're to struggle, we're making our people proud. Peaceful marches, rights in the grip. You may walk no like stuff with that poison drip. We march for the truth, not chasing fame. Demanding we sit on the roots of jamming. You see it 27, but we still came. No change can hold down the people's flame. 3 days loud, the list dropped fast. Pressure broke silence, the thought would last. You ruggle, you cuss, while the police shots we speak. Cause Gambian it's more than love. You call us, now we are survivors. Hard with the enemy, we born to be fighters.
victory. We are youth.
Yeah. So, this is a new song. This is a new song. And this is the first time I'm going to perform. So this is for every young person. We all know happening the elections in Mugenyo. So I'm urging y'all, please go and get your voter's card. No recommend that pull out the change we want. Alright? Sorale. Sorale. Okay. Now Nila Buga get them. Everybody. Sorale. Neviga idunyu sorale. Yo sakato moisa dole. Con yo mina ubulko fowe. Con gala nako sorale. Neviga idunyu sorale. Yo sakato moisa dole. Con yo mina ubulko fowe. Con gala nako sorale. Gurgu jubut. Juba di bahu sileu. You take la place nga want you gonna want you danga bell. Yo nit ya la falbo ote wan you tell. Kon love the muntile kana don la la leo. They preach good governance. Where is the truth? Corruption eats things like a rotten tooth. They fly first class while the children cry. Just dreams tonight. Anyata hali safi duga sinyo de ko jahat jahat. Eso forget na kisula. Oye YouTube jahate. Nekete yo. Alelu askan bansi fosa. Badala di joy mom day. Nefiga idunyu sorale. Yo sakata moisa dole. Kon yo mina buko fowe. Kon gala nako sorale. Nefiga idunyu sorale. Yo sakata moisa dole. Kon yo mina buko fowe. Kon gala nako sorale. Ministers in suits ride foreign bills. Soon Labitani and cracks, no medicine to heal. The differently able are left behind. Denied basic rights, out of sight, out of mind. Don't sell your votes for a plate of rice. The future is worth more than a pretty price. Use your voice wisely, like a weapon of change. Rearrange the game, it's time to break the chains. Transparency is what we want to see. Every coin, every choice, every ministry. We vote, we pay, we got that right to ask the tough questions and demand. Everybody, nafiga idunyu sorale. Yo sakata moisa dole. Yo sakata moisa. Okay. Kongala nako sorale. Nafiga idunyu sorale. Yo sakata moisa dole. Con yo mina ubuko fowe. Kongala nako sorale. Nelo bidoina yeful. Nelo bidoina yeful. Okay, nelo bidoina yeful. Kongala nako sorale. Kongala nako sorale. Yo sakata moisa dole. Music for change, music for change. Yeah, we out. Power to the people. Thank you guys.
Alright, thank you very much, our bling. Guys, ito may toglen at legi. Galas, ak sa team toglen. Please, can we take back our seats? Can we take back our seats? I will start calling names. You all standing there and then having fun on discussions. I will turn to be a discreto. I will call your name. Kex and the team. Musa Sanyang and the crew. They are empty seats. Can you sit? Galas, please sit. I don't know if I have the powers to call out the CIC. I don't know if I have the powers to call on the CIC, but Landing, please, you are distracting my boss. Please sit down and leave him alone. Alright, thank you very much. So moving forward to the to the next agenda. You know, the lawyers are always busy. So we have a panel for our lawyers. But unfortunately, you know, the lawyer business is always expensive, so they will always have things to do. So they couldn't be here, but we have a panel on protest, public order, and the state of human rights. That panel was supposed to be our legal counsel, but now we'll have a statement on behalf of our legal counsel that will be delivered by Counsel John Njai. Please can we put our hands together for Counsel John Njai while he takes the podium on behalf of our legal team.
I will not try to take your hands for poetry. Hello?
Hello.
Okay. I will not try to sing or dance or poetry, yeah? But lima buga waxtaan mooy public order act. Fan la jógee lan moo ko fi indi 1961 Gambien tegul ko Gambien tubaab bi moo ko jëlee dëkkam ñëw teg ñu ko moom 1936 la ko indi dëkkam because ñu ngi doon reyante ci tali bi seen political party si foofu then ñun suñ maam yi door independence waxi independence ñu indi ko Africa ñu yóbbu ko Kenya 1950 yóbbu ko Ghana 1952 yóbbu ko Nigeria 1955 ñun ñu indil ñu ko 1961 lana xew Gambia biñ ko fi indi ni ma ko waxee maam yu mel nii Edward Francis Small M.E. Jallow ñu ko daan ooyee Jallow ñu am Cham Diouf ñu am M.E. Diouf ñii ñu doon organise workers yi for better pay better salaries ci port bi because liñ leen daan fay duñ ko daan mun a dundee ci loolu ñu indi strike boo xam ne dafa stop dëkk bi completely nobody went to work work parce que la bokk ñu indi lu ñoo ooyee Battle of Wilberforce Banjul ci xeex boobu noonu tubaab bi loolu happen in 1960-61 7 months later ñu indi ñu ak bi mu tere ñu pour ñu mun a dox lay wax de jos pour ñu dox ci dëkk bi 3-4 nit mun a booloo dox ñu tere ñu ko then Nigeria Kenya Ghana jamono li dem ba ñu génnee ko ñu génnee et pare dégëral freedom of assembly seen biir dëkk maanaam ñun suñ biir dëkk ay ji moom kenn mun naa decide ne lii du am comme nit keroog li fi xew soo demee si dëkk yi motu la ni Africa loolu génn nañu Ghana Kenya da nga am pour dem si court tubaab bi dañoo indi seen dëkk musu ñoo mun a am doole pour baan procession pour nga dox ñax musuñ koo baan liñ la mun a def mooy ñu jox la restriction fan nga mun a jaar because soo jaaree fii nga fekk sa ennemi ngeen xeex pour public safety ñu ne mënuloo jaar fii jaaral fii ñun dañ indi complete ban suñu waxee ne doo dox suñu waxee ne du xew te benn nit moo am that power benn nit kooku last time 1 year ago bi ko Gala bi ñu baanee Gala ñu def procession reason sax joxewu reason fu wax ne lii moo tax mënuloo dox fii day ñëw rek ñëpp gis nañ ko si vidéo bi day ñëw rek borbante gars yi rek dugal leen yóbbu leen naa suñu xoolee yeneen dëkk yi Ghana public order act bi nga xam ne dañu laa baal pour boo dox dañ ko 42 years la fa laas Kenya 47 years la fa laas Nigeria 52 years la fa laas ñun it is still here 1961 to now 65 years going 66 years the Public Order Act mu ngi taxaw benn tey now naka lañ koo change lawyers yi tryoon nañ demoon nañ court case Ousainou Darboe demoon nañ African Court tamit woogut mu dem Supreme Court woogut yeneen dëkk yi change African countries yi ma tudda niñ ko change mooy dañ ne amuñ doole pour bañ laa jox permit amuloo doole pour ma ne mënumaa dox pour dem ñaxtu àndaa su ko ay naataangoo pour dem ñaxtu amuloo doole pour li ñu mën a def mooy man ñun miy ñaxtu dañ laa notifié dañ laa xewal tey dañ laa yëgal tey ne ñu ngee dox dem ñaxtu te fii la ñoo jaar da nga boobu soo buggee control crowd bi fu ngaa indi police control crowd bi waaye du commission su ne dama apply ne la baalal ma may ma dem dox commission wala notification may wax bi dama laa notify ne tey damaa jaar fii nga ñëw def sa liggéey waaye du ma la ñaan commission fu ma biir dëkk pour dox nga bañ nit mu mënumaa dox that's the first thing second thing benn nit warut a am doole pour mun a stop ndaw or anybody pour dox dem fenn pour ñax su nekkee ne am na kooku war a am doole bi jaarale ko si court si kooku is independent judge bi is independent or magistrate is independent waaye am na noo koo jaaralee mu nekk ay political thing which is dangerous so fi mu nekk ndegem even Supreme Court bi decide na ne is legal because mooy law bi parliament indi woon nañ bill pour change ko mu daanu ñu daaneel ko the only other way mooy pour indi a private members bill parliament mooy ñu jagar loi jagaroon nañ ko mu fa dañ ko war a indiwaat yóbbu ko nga dem sa MP sa naam make sure ne vote na pour agree pour ñu daanal 65 years dëkk yu gën a rëy Nigeria ñaata million la fa nekk ñu ngi amee Boko Haram di leen bomb all the time taxut ñu stop bàyyi ñu mun a ñam ñun lan moo fi xew tey ñu war a stop what was done here today to warrant arrest 3 days ñun ñu war a dem di leen dimbale pour ñu génn di leen indil ay garab yu maatax di leen indil ay lekk di leen indil ay ndox lan moo fi xew tey ay neene sax ñu ko so that's what I wanted to talk about the Public Order Act pour woon leen ne Gambia tegul ko Gambia tubaab boo ko fi indi tubaab bi ko use sa seen dëkk diggante woon ni ko dégaralee fii ñetti nit su doxee pour nit ñaa arrêté la mun loolu pour ñu bàyyi ko xel ndax ñu mun ko thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Council. Apologies, I went to the bathroom. So now we are getting set to reveal few things. I know that when we say the part of Gala is different and sound different, there's a lot that needs to happen. But before that, you know, we have had the Central Committee speak on behalf of the Central Committee. We have our solidarity people speak. And from the masses, somebody that believes in this struggle, somebody that truly wants to speak to Gambians. And now, whilst we prepare the projector, and Maimuna Eva, please get set. Maimuna Eva, please get set. Can we have Usman Sonko? Usman Sonko have a message for Gambians. And Usman Sonko have been one person that have been with the masses and literally appears everywhere. And I remember yesterday he came to our press conference and had a lot to say. And I tell him, of course, I'm the people's spokesperson, but there are times that these people have to speak for themselves, and that way we have an honest conversation. We'll have Usman speak to the Gambian people what we have, and please let's listen. Hello? 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 Thank you. Usman, Michael Felente.
Assalamualaikum badin Gambian kolo be mo be kondona itoni ikondola nga message min soto wala nyindi ko na banko kan tilimbali amin bejang asembo wala dale fata mbita ananela niya jube ntolu abrin namina wulula mbe bamanyol kono kanamo le jo ka wonamo minjo pour banko la nyatota ka jo wala kan balmo dantan wala kadasi ka banko la namota e ka tale fongol tema ibe ko dal lola ibe diwol bondila je be sambala ba banko lu kay be karandila wolbe a better life sotola tolu nim fañol nin tolu katingol mi wulwa nim mamalgol min benana wolbe bataka so galanata nim organisation o deda pour ka wuli ka wotilimbali yale tele banko kam woto mbe banko fondin celu birin cela fo musula nanyolu babanyolu kotonyolu Ningala wulita mobe wulinga pasa roke mbe cheloche kamune ya manchen tolu kumoti puru mbe min soto la kabulan na jigo kono because luolu mbe do kola len kanna transol nin talal soto bari si cheloche bankola na fulo mo danda ye fonya domola ay dundula to dami ya lonko soma ntolu digol min benana animma malungol ntolu fañolu ni mamol ye bata minje ntolu nga batwa minje boye dam banko kan ani wo kola nkana lo ka foko banko mo manyanna lola ikela nyaton ko soso because president o angalele wo todi by better giving name na kawandilalu woluka foyo ko mansandu manje mansan ali ni edu mbungoro bange nyini ngamune be chere mbata fo ba fono la odo manje mansati mola mudi yedo ko nyini tolle bulu so ngambim fo nyanta wala kala ndia ke mim manje siloti nge so ngai tandila kalibe min ka manje siloti to nyata kodo lafta jarane siloni to nyaeta Allah taala almanna fala wala nyanta kadi kandu yedo ko nyini ngulum be jola mbe dongoro dilela office o kono mbe moto dilela mbe fengo be dilela lote la jata chende abundano bal nindo dado lobdano to ka kayto sa fe ane prastamol ko eta sam pharmacie no fo mu kaylo le di banko kamba moto Gambia mbe mo be kumandila banko ton ko nano be nim ko demonstration o minul de futano la kombo ibe tundu wo tundu kan ali nyo kafum ali ebe commissioner la office because commissioner le tundo la president odi so mbe banko mobe dan la nyinda ndo Ousmane Sonko ko mbal dan la nyinkan ala kan jila kan ma fali ya kende ma fali ya tali kumoli bari ndiwolu ni mamalugol mindul bena soma wole da hasot so ninna kumo nimbula da min kasi de siya ko boy ninya ala kan jila kan ada madi wala mun timmantim
abaraka bage Ousmane Sonko ninga protest kumandi mol mun ci fusal lo kombo alal fang kafung albe daming ale finti. And there is a call for a national protest. And every day, every morning, every afternoon, the actions of the people we entrust with power will give us a reason to protest every day, to protest both day and night. I would like to acknowledge the presence of our good brother, a mentor, and somebody that have also saved activism, advocacy, and youth empowerment and work in the Gambia. Mr. Laming Dabo, you're welcome, and it's a pleasure to see you here. Thank you very much for always being by us, for standing with us. And next, we have performance by Kila Ace. Kila Ace is also the head of the Team Gomsa Bopa. I'm a victim, rejected by the system. I'm a victim, rejected by... We are legal. We are legal. We are legal. We are legal. We are lawful. We are legal. Yeah. The floor is yours, man, bro. Can you make noise for Killer Ace? Bro. Can you make some more noise for Killer Ace?
Assalamu alaikum, mangi everybody from east, north, south. Jinay Malaika Itomi Adama, yes, your boy Ali Baba, Bonda Killer on the mic, Ace rap. But I can't momo dekami, but we are lawful, we are legal, but Allah by soldier. Shout out to Gala, you know what I'm saying? Paske man no do maglasi pagasi suwahe walu activism. Hamga, you know, say Alhamdulillah, this is what we were praying for. Nyun bunyo joge Dakar. Bu affaire si gino non tar den lon ñaan yalla ñu am ay ndaw ñu nga xamantene ñom dañoo engage di engagé. Xam nga so demee ba wara xam ñaata goal la Cristiano Ronaldo score si career 20 years sa waji war nga mëna xam public order advisable section la nekk right so ñu mo ñu saf ñu gis ñu mel ni Gala ak ñeneen ñu nekk ndaw ñuy take over the system, take over the civil society area, ñu nekk ay social movements nekkal fi askan bi nekkal fi people bi pere pour dee pour ñu njëriñu people bi ñu put interest ci dëkk bi over seen post so Gala maa ngi leen a ñaanal ngeen am like so many more accomplishments more and more achievements di leen wax rek bàyyi leen xel activism yombut it's a life and death situation if we were in places in other countries some of us would be dead. So let's be strategic, let's all organize, let's all strategize, let's all be one movement. Amut kelela, we're not politics. So little PPP, NPP, GPP, GDC, GIUOC did it. This is one movement. Nothing between us as activists. Because this one touch one, they touch all. So Indian that we get to the revolution starts now. Get up, stand up, and play your part now. The revolution starts within, deep in your heart now. Affaire si du government bi, affaire si ñun the people la. Ñun ñooy mën a change system bi, du government bi. If we love each other, empower each other, encourage each other, nekk benn, stand inshallah things in the neck. I'll drop that shit, bro. Yeah, the revolution starts now. Yeah, the revolution starts now. You never. Man, déggu ma leen de. Get up, stand up, and play your part now. The revolution starts within, deep in your heart now. Let's go. Yeah, the revolution starts now. Let's go, everybody. Get up, stand up, and play your part now. The revolution starts within, deep in your heart now. Yeah, let's change the way we treat each other. Believe it or not, yeah, we really need each other. And when one is hungry, come on, let's feed each other. And when one is sick, yeah, we can heal each other. With the knowledge and wisdom, yeah, we can teach each other. You'll see your sister and hear your brother. Then humble down, watch this and walk out you feel no bugger. We all trapped up in the system, but we can free each other. We all trapped up in the system, but we can free each other. Suko defu, dinayaga dimeti, dun am
suñ baat si réew mi te duñ musa naan si meew mi waaye suñ ko defee ñun ñëpp dinañ si njëriñoo man suma jikko bi il faut ma jël ma wecci ko yow doomi jàmbur bul ko yóbbu prison no picture bu am weeks my brother please let it go. Yeah, the revolution starts now. Get up, stand up, and play your part now. The revolution starts within, deep in your heart now. Let's go. Get up, stand up, and play your part now. The revolution starts within, deep in your heart now. Drop it. Wait, think what I'm going to parce que man mom Gala may right. Next song, brother. Yo, this for all the victims, all of the victims. Netherlands, rest in peace. You disappear. Yeah. I'm a victim, neglected by the system. I'm a victim, rejected by the system. I'm a victim. I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. I'm a victim, neglected by the system, rejected by the system. Then what they gonna do, Mandala? I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. Yeah, transitional justice, but in this transition I still don't see no justice. Still feeling hopeless deep down, I'm so disgusted. Few years gone, nothing has been discovered. Yo, I was promised truth, witnesses are disappearing. Despite my trauma, I don't see no sense of caring. Yo, I smile deep down, it really hurts. They promised to put victims and they did it first. Yo, they don't seek to recognize my violations. They tell me it's a process, whilst I'm dying waiting. I see former perpetrators being reinstated. Too sick and it's hard when the truth is being played with. Justice denied, every day is delaying. If you a victim, then you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I am a victim of systematic abuse. How you gonna reconcile when we don't even know the truth? I'm a victim, neglected by the system, rejected by the system. Then what they gonna do, Matala? I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. I'm a victim, neglected by the system, rejected by the system. Then what they gonna do, Matala? I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. I'm a victim of rape, torture, brutality. Health-wise, I'm internally dying gradually. I am a victim of the corrupt judicial system. They seized my rights and then threw me in the prison. I am a victim of the free you keep. I disappeared, murder body, never to be seen. I am an April 10, 11 victim, still seeking help to pay the cost of needed medical treatment. I am a victim of shocking sexual violence. Group of men pack up and press themselves inside her. Every time she thinks of it, yeah, she starts crying, scared to share her story, so she remains silent. I'm a victim to my dream, homeland jealousies. The time I don't let fully slow to my case be. I am a victim of systematic abuse. How we gonna reconcile when we don't even know the truth? I'm a victim, neglected by the system. I'm a victim, rejected by the system. I'm a victim. Then what they gonna do, my talent? I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. I'm a victim. Degumale. Rejected by the system. I'm a victim. Then what they gonna do, my talent? I'm a victim, guaranteed non reoccurrence. I'm a victim, neglected by the system, rejected by the system. I'm a victim. Then what they gonna do, my talent? I'm a victim, guaranteed now. Alright.
Thank you, guys.
Hold on. Give me my last song on the bottom. It's super. Wow, last. We are lawful. Yeah, hands in the air, everybody, hands up. Sigo. Hands in the air. What's up? We are lawful, we are legal. We are lawful.
The order is for you to disperse. That's the instruction. You are unlawfully assembling here.
We are lawful, we are legal. We are lawful, we are legal. Mandego male. Lawful, we are legal. Mandego male. No tear gas for the no title. We are lawful, we are legal. Tear gas for the no title, hey. Tear gas for the no title, hey. Nunca be a title. We are lawful, we are legal. We are lawful, we are legal. So there's no need to be lethal. You are awful, you beat us. You even though we so peaceful. We are legal, we are lawful. You do good internet be your cool. With the detail, with your truth, equipped like you're going to war fool. Why are you so hot this year? Always be the target for police jail to my 2 cells. You put in the use to hard shit. And now we on that court bill. You bring that back, hold on, pause there. Say it just now, bring that back one more time. One more time, let's do it for the last time, and I'm out. And all the police officers, pick up. Thanks for the security. You just hold that way, huh? Let's go. Hands in the air, everybody. Yeah. I love everybody, man. Bye-bye, everybody. It's time for us to discuss.
Alright, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a big. I am sounding like I'm in a stakeholder meeting. I forgot I'm saying ladies and gentlemen, comrades and masses of the struggle. We are coming to the end of this anniversary, but we cannot end this anniversary without doing few things. We celebrate 1 year of progress, 1 year of achievements, 1 year of impact, of course 1 year of challenges, but in position and in between 1 year of a new identity and 1 year of positioning Gala into the global movement stage. When we say Gala have never happened to Gambians and you think we're joking. Gala is not just Gambian, Gala is not just continental now. Gala is everywhere, including the globe. Master students are writing their thesis about Gala. PhD students are doing dissertations about Gala. International organizations are doing documentary about Gala. And that's why I said, when Gala was born, Gambia will never be the same again. And you can disagree, but we will prove ourselves on a daily basis and on a daily basis and on a daily basis. And next on the agenda, Gala have produced a new identity. If you look at the logo on the card, it's different from the logo on the jacket because the card is donated by somebody as a surprise, so he did not pick our new identity. But also now we want to connect with the globe, and through mass mobilization, people within the movement have worked on developing a website for Gala for free. But also our communications have also produced what is called a newsletter of reflecting Gala's impact, achievements, way forward and challenges. And now I have the singular honor to invite Mr. Aliupa to reveal the new identity of Gala, including the slogan and the logo. Can we put our hands together for Aliu?
Hello, Gambians and Africans. Hello, people. Can you guys come? You need to see the logo. Can people come closer? Tafadhali, please. Viva Africa! Viva Africa! Viva Africa! Viva Africa! Oh, viva, viva, viva Africa! Thank you. So we have a new logo. You can see the logo. Yeah? And this logo represents an evolution. A sort of because movements, they get state and they reach a certain ascendancy, they ascend and they become, as the people change, the movements also change. Ghana's logo earlier on was different from this one. We remember the logo with like the scales of justice. So we've changed it, and now when you can look at it, the red bar, the red bit of it represents the sacrifices, frustrations, and national realities that gave birth to the movement. It reflects courage, resistance, and the willingness of ordinary Gambians to stand up against corruption and injustice. The red has always been a color of struggle. See the red star, right? Yeah. The green triangle that you see, the green triangle symbolizes renewal, civic awakening, and hope for a more transparent, accountable, and just nation. It reflects Gala's belief in national transformation through collective action. Yeah? The hammer, you can see the hammer, yeah? Marteau. The hammer represents people-powered action against corruption, impunity, and abuse of power. It symbolizes strength, resistance, accountability, and determination to confront injustice. And now there's a divider. You see that white divider there? That white divider. The divider represents clarity, discipline, and organizational purpose. It reflects Gala's transition from spontaneous outrage into a structured civic accountability movement. Because we must move from spontaneity to organization, from mobilization to organization. Mobilization is temporal, but organization is eternal. Yeah? And the word Gala, that is on the logo. More than an organization, Gala represents a growing movement of Gambians demanding accountability, transparency, justice, and responsible governance, and a revolution and liberation in our lifetimes. Yeah? You guys want to be free? Could you imagine the size of freedom? Imagine being free from oppression. So join us, yeah? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. This is the new identity of Gala, and all the masses must carry this. Next, I have the singular on. Together as the spokesperson with the media team, have produced a newsletter. And this newsletter will be published through a link shortly, but just the cover page to tell you that since May 8, 2025, Gala have not been resting in ensuring that the dignity of the masses is restored, accountability and transparency become the bedrock of our democratic governance, and to ensure that corruption is eradicated, impunity is killed, and the Gambian is anchored on the principles of good governance, good leadership, and respect for the rule of law. And here is, please don't protest that the police are not our friends. I don't know how that photo make it to the newsletter, but it also reflects that Gala is not violent and Gala is not outlaw. We remain within the law. We remain to defend that the same law to ensure that Gambians live in dignified life. So that's the newsletter, and we're going to publish the newsletter. This is just a sample. Is that beautiful? You guys don't show that it's beautiful, right? So 1 year, Gala is able to do all of this, and shortly you're going to read the full, just a guess, you will read an executive statement from the national coordinator, and also a reflective statement from the former national coordinator, Mr. Mohamed Sise. All the protests that we have done, the engagement we have done, the achievement of Gala, and of course the challenges and the way forward for the masses, and how we continue to amplify our voices and our collective voices to ensure that the Gambia is on the right path. Thank you very much. And finally, before we close, I will call on Mr. Alamin Kijera to unveil the website of Gambians Against Brutality. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in our 1 year commemoration. So, as we are unveiling the new identity of Gala, this is actually our new website, where each and every one of you, both in the Gambia and abroad, will be able to access, know a lot of what we do, what we are about to do, and the things that we anticipate to do and things like that. So this website will also be available to each and every one of you very soon, in just a matter of days. And from the website you can see it has the About Us, which actually will feature the Central Committee, and you have the programs. It will include the campaign. For one of the campaigns, which is I Am Gala, I believe everyone will resonate with that particular campaign. And the other one would be the reports and publication that we will, because we'll be doing a lot of publications, inshallah, and educational materials. Join us, volunteer, partner with us. The event that we'll be into, and report corruption. So this is my favorite part of the website, the report corruption. The reason why it's my favorite is because you Gambians and any other person that is maybe even abroad, because we have our representatives outside, isn't it right? Now, with this report, you as a Gambian can report any kind of corruption that you've witnessed, any kind of corruption that you witness without your identity being revealed. The only thing that you need to do is, if you are able to take a picture, you take a picture of it. If you have a document, you just upload, and there's a space where you can just tell, okay, what this document is about or what this picture is about. If you don't have the time, because probably some of us might be doing some kind of whistleblowing and trying to protect our identity or trying to whatsoever, whatever that you're gonna do, you can just upload and people will not know who. Us, we are not going to know who upload what. All that we're gonna receive is what you upload, and we will do our investigation with whoever that we think we need to collaborate with to continue with the investigation and to verify what you sent to us, and then later we'll take an action. So together we'll be able to fight corruption from wherever we are. So this is actually the website, and in case you want to support as well, there's the donate button and everything. Inshallah, this website will be available to all of you, and you don't have to worry about your security, because this website